blow me away here. I think all this mudslinging needs to stop. We need it to work.
Absolutely.
Are you willing to?
Absolutely.
Enough said.
As far as the information that I have requested, I answer to the citizens of Argyle. This isn't my personal agenda to come in here and ask for basic financial. I mean, this is stuff I need to know as a mayor because I have a commitment to the citizens of Argyle, whether it might be finding funding for the senior programs, looking at options for a library. I answer to these people. They're asking me questions. These are pertinent documents. So I do have the executive power as the mayor to inspect at any time these records.
Not at any time.
We will refer to this.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And the ordinances. So
Okay.
we'll have an executive session, and we'll go over this with the attorney. So, but addressing.
Guys, let us just finish this.
Thank you. But these documents are at the request of the citizens, and they called me, the mayor, and asked me, "Hey, what is up? What is up with this?" I've reached out. I want to have a meeting. Y'all get to know me. I don't know you personally. The mudslinging, everything that happened before, I mean, that's politics. Right. But since then, I encourage each and every one of you, staff as well. I mean, if you ever feel like you have a security or you're not safe around me, Chief Tackett, I'm more than welcome you. But y'all need to get to know me personally, and I cannot wait to get to know you personally. Everybody in here, whether they voted for me or not, everybody in here wants the town to move forward. So there's a lot of things that we need to sit down and talk about and construct a plan. We're getting into the budget phase of this right now. That's as to your remark. So I want to go through and see, do we have the money in there? Or is there something that we're spending on wants rather than needs? And what we can do as a council and mayor and staff to accommodate the request of the citizens.
But so, do you understand that when you come in your first week in office and make it takes time. You don't just...
And to address that, Joey, this was a 1 week, but having the executive...
Matt, it's executive, you're the mayor, I understand you
Exactly.
have executive power, but you have to be able to work with people.
Absolutely.
And I don't feel that you're doing that, from what I'm hearing from staff.
Okay, well, and that's what I said. I would love to. Some of the staff knows me, and we've worked together well on previous issues. Some might not know me.
I would like to know what staff thinks you're working well together.
I've worked with Richard before, Carissa, Lyle. On a previous issue, way before.
I'd like to ask our staff.
Do
you think?
I don't think
the issues about the security concerns really.
But I am the chief presiding officer over the town, and there's nothing in here other than economic. Cody filled me in on personnel records and stuff pertaining to the Economic Development Committee. There's nothing that I can, at any time, that I shouldn't be able to come in here and inspect. If I am the chief presiding officer that has to look over these ordinances and see if there's any violations. When the constituents and the citizens ask me, hey, we feel like there's corruption. I'm not saying there's corruption. I just want to get
But you did for several times you said there was corruption.
You said we were all corrupt.
I need the information.
Okay.
And then let's go through there.
Well, then I would like to afford you the time, and it's not going to be next week, you know this. It's going to take time.
Absolutely, Joey.
So please, stop. Matt, I'd like to move forward. And I honestly mean that. Please. I understand you're the executive presiding officer, but nobody's ever come in here and said that. Everyone just gets along and gets their job done, and that's kind of what I would like to see you do.
And when I say I'm a full-time mayor, if you remember, were you here when Yvonne Jenkins was here?
I was.
Okay. This, Yvonne, out of her office, she answered to every one of these citizens who lived here at the time, and then crafted, either by herself, solutions to most things. She accommodated. That's, you know, I understand there's been a previous mayors that's been hands-on, but that wasn't my platform. I want to be hands-on with our council, our staff, the citizens. And
I can appreciate that. Would you agree that maybe it would have been a good idea? And I understand right now where you're at, you probably feel like you can't work with this council.
No,
Do you not feel, I thought I heard you said you felt,
I don't know.
do you not feel that it would have been?
I've reached out to Bonnie. I just want to, y'all personally, to meet me. And let's talk about, because you have things that you would like the city to move forward with, that your constituents are asking of you. Bonnie has them of hers as well. But
So you need an office. Why would you not come to the council and discuss it instead of going in? Because our town administrator to give you an office right now.
I'm basing this off the current ordinances of the town. And they provide, it is in there that I have access, that at any time I shall come into any staff, anywhere in this office to conduct and review, make sure the ordinances are being followed, that laws are being followed. That is my power as mayor. So do I need to call and have an appointment to come up and talk to Commissioner Drescher? No, I don't. I am the mayor. Mr. Drescher reports to the council and the mayor. If I want to go speak with him.
Do you have a copy of the ordinance that was passed in 2010? Because that's just simply not the case. I'm not
Okay.
trying to be argumentative.
Your mic's on.
You're
off. Can hear you.
You're off. You're off.
Okay. Well, I'll get to you in a minute. Let me.
But I just want you to know you're quoting an ordinance that was
Can
changed.
you refrain? Well, you'll have your chance, please. Speak with Mr. Hayes.
Working together.
Is that it, Joe?
Yeah, I want to say, for the benefit of this town, let's cut out all the childish garbage and try and move
Shake his hand.
Let's start with you, Joey.
Yes, please.
Start off on a good note.
Yeah, shake hands.
Matt.
This is very disruptive.
You're being disruptive. I will call you. Let me I'm just going out here. We all report. We are civil servants to everybody in this room. Okay? So we answer to these people. So, but the little snack, whatever, let's keep this professional,
Right,
please.
I agree. Matt, for one thing, we do answer to these people, and somebody in here said, that you will work with whomever the people say you will work with. Now, I disagree with that statement. I will do whatever I know in my heart is right. I'll do the right thing. I don't care if everyone elects me and I'm the most unpopular person in town. I will do in my heart what I know is right. And if you guys don't like me or respect me for that, then I won't be on this council. That's fine. But I'm not going to do what the people pressure me to do politically. It's not.
As long as we're doing what the citizens are asking us to do, that's my agenda, and that is strictly my agenda.
Okay. As far as shaking your hand, I am very offended by the things that you have said. Over time, if you prove that you are willing to work, I'm sorry, that's how I feel.
You're a jerk.
Please, let him finish.
So, Matt, you know what? I look forward to working with you. I hope we can all work together and move forward with the town of Argyle. That's all I'm saying.
Thanks, Councilman.
I'm going to make this brief. I was elected city councilman, and today I was very proud of that. Everybody stood up, voiced their opinion. I love the response that we've got with all these people showing up. I hope this happens every single time we show up for city council. When I started, I ran for this because people said, hey, you should run for city council. You know, you'd be a good guy in there, an honest guy, do what people want, and that's what I'm here for. I moved to this town wanting a better life for my daughter and my wife and their children and my daughter's children I had then. My relatives have lived in this town for over 40 years. That's why I decided to move here, because of the love of this town that I've seen over 15 years of being here. When I was elected and came here to city council for the first time, Joey met me, shook my hand, gave me a smile, made me feel comfortable. I'm new at this game. This political game is new for me. When I met other city council members, I did not feel the warmth that I felt, and it made me feel shunned. I hope that I can do a good job for the city. And if, like Joey states, in 2 years from now, you find somebody better that does a better job than I do, and they elect them in, I will be the first person to shake their hand, wish them well, give them as much consideration that I could possibly ask for in return. And hope to God that they can do a better job for the city than I did. And I will do anything that they ask me to help them out, to do what's better for this town. I want to be a city councilman to help the town, to help the people in this town. The majority vote. That's what it's all about, the majority vote. And I hope to God that everybody shows the respect to every one another on council, mayor, council members, whatever. I hope to God that we can work together and throw all this BS behind us and just work together in the growth and the future of our town for our children and their children ahead of us. I'm going to make this brief. That's all I really have to say. Anybody has any questions, any concerns, please bring it to my attention. I will be happy to address it. I will be happy to understand and learn how to present it to the council members and take it from that point on. Thank you.
I feel like I need to make a speech because everybody else did. Just very briefly, I also was not prepared to be personally attacked, and I don't recall having a personal conversation with very many of you ever, having met you, and I would be happy at any time. I'm here twice a month. I'm at other public meetings, and you can call me or email me, and if you have questions or you've been told something, I'd be happy to answer those questions. And I have worked with some of you, and it's disappointing that you allow things to be perpetuated that you know aren't true. But I have never avoided any of you. I'm a servant of this community. I have an unlisted phone number. You can contact Town Hall and they'll get an email to me. And I would just like to point out, none of us have town emails right now because we were victims of a spam attack and they had to turn them off because they were crashing the town servers. So we have to go through town staff and have it individually emailed to us. It was a gas drilling related petition site, and it crashed our town server, which puts all of our operations in danger.
We're working on that.
Right, and I just want people to know that's the only reason we don't currently have an email address on. But obviously, town staff knows how to get in touch with us, and many of you know where I live. Anyway, I'm the legalist on the council. I have a horribly photographic memory, and so once I read something, it sticks with me, and you'll learn, as others do. I've read this whole book. It's a form of enjoyment to me. I don't know why. So my concerns to the agenda point, as I'm sure you will learn, things have to be worded very ambiguously to allow us discussion that doesn't violate the Open Meetings Act. When we don't know exactly where the discussion needs to go, it's worded very broadly so that we can cover whatever subjects we need. I don't know if we've covered this. Can we discuss both agenda items together? Would that be okay? Or do we need to stick to the
Sure,
first?
we can combine.
Okay. Case in point, this. I've done open records requests. There have been things that I had serious issues with, past, present, in the future with the town. And the process that I go through, that every citizen goes through, is a written request, which initiates the Public Information Act. The town has a responsibility to redact confidential, personally identifying information in some cases. So that is why we have to rely on the public information officer, which is the town secretary, to prepare the records and give them to us. Any other citizen would have had to pay for the stack of paperwork and the resources to assemble it. And the Public Information Act states that all requests for information are treated uniformly without regard to the position or the occupation of the requester. We have to take into account that these are the taxpayers' resources. The taxpayers are paying for these stacks of documents, and we're not asking or trying to suppress information. We're simply saying, please learn the procedures and follow them. And when town staff is trying to tell you them, please don't assume that they're being confrontational. Our staff is overqualified, like Bonnie said, much smarter than any of us. And I realize you're new, and I really would have appreciated, and I think we all were taken aback because we never met either one of you. You had not been in this room or been to a meeting, just like I couldn't walk into your profession and be expected to do your job. I was concerned how you would run a meeting, how you would understand. And I know you'll have questions. But what we have heard is that it's been very confrontational at the staff level and in this building. And we're in fear. If we lose town staff members, none of us know how to do the work that they're doing. We just don't. And I cannot even imagine that eventuality. I mean, seriously, think about that. If any one of you left here, who would do that job? Who would pay our bills or file our permits? We simply are not equipped to do that. We have to work together. We're required by law to provide a safe workplace. The council is the employer. And if the staff has concerns, we have a responsibility to deal with them. And that was our intent today. And if you would have let us start off the meeting by saying that, I think people would have understood. We're not here to limit your roles or to suppress information. It was kind of putting you in a position if you've really got a lot.
When you turn the light,
I'm going to put it in my mouth now. But again, there are trainings that are required by law, and boy are they fun. I sat through them again just to refresh myself on the Attorney General's website. Public meetings, open records. There are so many rules to follow, and it is overwhelming. And we're all understood. Local government code, and on top of that you have our ordinances.
And I have.
And just as you were speaking earlier, there are ordinances not yet codified. We have to give our books back every once in a while so they can put new stuff in, which is separation anxiety for Jackie. But there are things that have been handed out in the meantime that you may not be aware of, such as the designation that we gave to Mr. Drescher to be the town manager, which specifically gives him powers that you believe that you have. He is the chief administrative officer of the town. We specifically spelled it out in this ordinance. We had a council retreat. It was a subject of discussion, and we felt the job he was doing anyway, and we chose to spell it out in our ordinance. It is quite similar, though we did not change our form of government. It is very similar in your local government code book to the town manager form of government. So he is responsible for all of the management and administration of all affairs of the town.
Can you tell me what the role of the mayor is and what his title is? Chief Executive Officer?
You know, I have a really good, I don't know if you have any TML documents, you'll start getting the magazine, I can't remember what it's called. But a couple things I can tell you is under the council manager plan, the mayor has no administrative powers and will probably be in City Hall on a less frequent basis.
We're not in a county, or we're not in a city manager form of government.
Yes, we are. The ordinance that we adopted in 2010 named him and gave him those powers and duties.
Was I giving them, Jeremiah, I got a packet, was this information in that packet?
I'm not sure, sir.
When you talk about just ordinances, and maybe I'm not caught up, I kind of would have expected that to have been in there. But I've read through it, and it still states that was a title change. We're not a council manager form of government. We're still a general aid.
You're correct, we did not change our form of government, but we did specifically call out
For the
all,
administrative duties.
we called out for several pages all of the rights and responsibilities
And I read
of the
through every one
manager.
of them, and you were exactly right, and not for a second will I question any of those. I am exercising my right as chief presiding officer over the town to inspect the documents, the conduct, the ordinances.
Based on which, could you point me to?
It'll take a little reading, but I would really encourage you to read this and our
I
ordinances
have.
again.
I've
Because
read
I've
it.
already.
That's
so
why I'm just
we'll-
asking for you to
But
call it out.
that's where all this documentation is. So,
And maybe Matthew could clarify for us which document takes precedence.
Please.
Maybe just explain in pure, in simple English, no legalese,
Not lawyer talk.
no lawyer talk. What exactly are the duties and responsibilities of the mayor and the town manager, please?
The duties of the mayor are prescribed in section 22.042 of the Texas Local Government Code. He is titularly named the chief executive officer, but he is assigned only to perform the duties and exercise the powers prescribed by the governing body of the municipality via ordinance. In addition to that, he is authorized to inspect the conduct of each subordinate municipal officer and shall cause any negligence, carelessness, or other violation of duty to be prosecuted and punished. Separate and apart from that, the town manager has been designated the chief administrative officer of the town, who is responsible to the town council for the proper management and administration of all affairs of the town as set forth by town ordinance and resolution. Town manager's duties include, but are not limited to, directing the organization of the various departments, training, motivating, and evaluating personnel, the general personnel administration of the town, preparing and presenting the annual town budget to the council, and keeping the town council apprised of the town's financial condition. In addition to that, the town manager is authorized to proceed with all budgeted expenditures in an amount not to exceed $25,000. Consistent with the title of Chief Executive Officer and the Presiding Officer of the Council, the Mayor is authorized to preside over town council meetings, to call council meetings, and to participate in and add items to the agenda. In the absence of an additional designation of duties and powers by town ordinance, the Mayor's powers and duties are limited to those that I previously stated.
It could you restate?
so if you want to recover